some amazing things that we know about the ships in No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky has planets, life-size planets, over 18 quintillion planets, not to mention moons, with some of these moons being habitable with life, multiple galaxies and deep dead space in between stars if you choose not to use your hyperdrive. It is a large universe that no one will ever see in its entirety. A great deal of our time will be spent on planets exploring, deep diving in caves on dry land and underwater. But most of our time will be spent in our ships traveling this near endless universe. When you start out in No Man's Sky, you will be given a starter ship. And as Sean has said in the past, it's a crappy ship, pretty basic. With this ship, you can leave the planet. You can visit other planets in the solar system, and you can even leave the solar system that you start in, but it will be one heck of a slow trip because your first ship won't have a hyperdrive. You're going to need to find a way to get some units, which is the money in No Man's Sky, to buy a better ship through mining and trading the legal way, or by killing and stealing the pirate way, or you could just scavenge. You could even get units by discovering new things, helping out factions. The list goes on. All of the ships are procedurally generated. There are 3 classes of ships in No Man's Sky: Trader, Fighter, and Explorer. Fighters are light and symmetrical. Traders are slower and bulkier, but have heavier weapons for attack and defense. Explorers have better hyperdrives and stealth, such as cloaking devices. In the game, these classes will not be told to you or labeled anywhere. But the function, stats, and appearance of the ships will be clear as to what class they would fit in. Some ship stats include shields, laser beams, plasma shot, rapid fire shot, energy torpedo, wing. This affects maneuverability. Hull separates stats to allow landing in toxic, corrosive, and radioactive environments. Engine, general speed and hyperdrive, hyperspace jump distance. The menu is neat and clean, often compared to Destiny's menu. From there, you can see the level of your ship, its weapons, armor, technical, and hyperdrive. As you can see in the top, Sean Murray is currently ranked as Journeyman, which is a title based on the type of ship and its current hyperdrive. Below that is the amount of units he has, which is the game's money. The boxes are the cargo space. The amount of boxes depends on the capacity of the ship. There, you can hold tech, resources, things you have crafted, blueprints, and other things. This isn't a sim, so gravitational pull or getting into orbit will not come into play. No Man's Sky plays like an arcade-type game as far as the flight mechanics. I'm sure there are some physics. Based on looking at the menu, it says a type of metal doesn't affect the handling too much, but it's definitely not a sim. The goal for Hello Games is to have a game that feels like a movie and is instant action like a movie. The only fuel you're going to have to worry about in No Man's Sky is hyperdrive fuel. Normal get up and go and travel does not consume fuel. The inside of the ship has several displays giving you real-time readouts on speed, resources, and other info. You're not restricted to one type of ship. If you want to change classes, just buy a new ship. But any tech you find, craft, and bond to that ship will go with the old one, and you start off fresh. Your ship can also gain wear and tear over time, but no word yet on if there's a way to repair it. What's really cool, I think, is that all of these ships, including their cockpits, are procedurally generated. And no matter how many we have seen in the trailers and gameplay footage, we haven't even scratched the surface of these designs waiting for us. Hello Games is way too careful showing off the game in order to leave us shocked and awed when the game is finally in our hands. With that said, Sean says the better ships are towards the center of the galaxy. And you could even name the type of ship that you have. When it comes to combat, one of the things I'm looking forward to most in No Man's Sky, different weapons have different specializations. Lasers are good for melting shields, and plasma is good at eating away at a hull. Torpedoes do a lot of damage but are slower. You have to use that predictable aiming. There isn't any ammo to run out of, but your weapons can overheat, so you gotta watch your cooldowns. As said before, space combat is made with an arcadey pick-up-and-play feeling in mind, and also takes some inspiration from Bungie's legendary sci-fi shooter, Halo. And the choices that you make are who to take on first. Sean Murray says in a January Game Informer issue, "I'm going to get rid of the grunts because even though they're little, they are causing me a lot of trouble," Murray says. "You're choosing smaller ships to take out first, potentially, if that's what you go for. Or you might take out the bigger ones, more powerful ships. These smaller ships normally don't have shields, so they're faster to destroy. If you drain the shields of a bigger ship, it flees, like one of the Halo elites, to let its shields recharge. Some ships can even heal others, like the drones in Halo 4. So you want to go after them first. Choosing the right weapon for the job is crucial as well. Lasers specialize in the melting shields, while plasma projectiles do heavy damage to the ship hulls, and torpedoes pack a punch, but they are not quite as fast as the others. Another incentive for changing up weapons is to manage the cooldowns. Thankfully, you don't have to pop in to space stations to buy ammo, nor worry about running out in the middle of a firefight. So what happens if you get taken out in one of these adventures? People have speculated about punishing roguelike style permadeath, but the reality isn't quite as harsh. If your ship is destroyed, you could still use a bare bones life pod to get to a nearby planet or a space station. Your ship and whatever cargo it was carrying is lost. Your bank account remains intact, as do all of your suit, weapons, and upgrades, though you have to build up the funds to buy a new ship before you can leave the solar system again. If you die on foot, you simply teleport back to wherever your ship is parked and lose anything you were carrying since you last checked in with it. You can only buy ships at space stations. You could browse the ships coming in, but you won't have a lot of time to decide which one you want. The HUD display. On the left, you have the name of the planet, or if you're in space, it's the name of the solar system. Then below that is your regenerative shield. Then once that runs out, the squares below are your health, and they begin to get deducted. In the middle is kind of like a compass for the points of interest after you scan. On the right is the type of weapon you currently have selected, but so far, this only affects what you have selected outside of your ship. And then below that is your wanted level. Also, if you lose your ship, a quick scan will show you where your ship is with a point of interest. Although there is a little bit more info about ships, these are the ones that I thought were the most important and coolest. As I've asked you guys in the past, what type of ship do you think you will want to fly? Guys, this is the first video that we are doing once a month as a countdown to the release of No Man's Sky. Subscribe and join this amazing community. As always, I love you guys. Stay tuned for a bunch of new shows coming to Cobra TV. Until next time.